Many people are familiar with doing aerobic training just using cyclical modalities. So jumping on an assault bike, going for a run, using the rower. Today in this video, I'm going to teach you how to think beyond just the bike and start to incorporate it into mixed modal circuits. So what that means is using this bike with other activities. Think about gymnastics and bodyweight activities, and as you progress, using weights to put them into a circuit and do aerobic training that gets you a great dose response, just like it would if you were using the bike alone. The number one rule when doing aerobic work, whether it's with cyclical modalities like just the assault bike, or whether you're doing mixed work where you're introducing new activities, is sustainability. And what that means is keeping a steady pace throughout your work, whether you're doing long, slow work or shorter, faster intervals. There's a few reasons for this. It makes sure that you're improving your aerobic energy system and getting the great benefits from that. It ensures that you're successful with your workouts and you're not trashing yourself, ending up on the floor. And it makes sure that you can progress appropriately over time. One of the biggest challenges that we see in designing mixed workouts is what exercises are you going to put inside of it? This is highly individualized because it will come down to your experiences with the exercises, what you've done before, what your capabilities are. But there are some rules of thumb that we can follow when we're deciding what we should be putting with this assault bike over here. First of all, a really good starting point is to pair gymnastics or bodyweight exercises with that assault bike before progressing to adding weights into any mixed modal work that you're doing. So think about push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, before you go into maybe doing a loaded squat or a bench press or a power clean. Beyond that, we can think about what exercises have you mastered in isolation. So what have you done in a skill-based setting where you're not tired, where you're not breathing heavy, that you've gotten really good at before you put that into aerobic work on that assault bike. Because one thing we don't want to do is add in exercises to your mixed modal aerobic training with the assault bike that you're not able to do when you're not tired at all. You're going to be breathing hard on this thing, so we have to make sure that the movements you can do really well in isolation before you add them in with the bike. So let's get down to it. We're going to do a mixed aerobic piece here with the assault bike. I'm going to do 3 intervals. They're going to be 5 minutes long. They're going to be AMRAPs, so as many rounds as possible. And I'm going to do 10 calories on the assault bike, 8 ring rows, and 6 push-ups. I'm going to do that in a circuit fashion, so round and round and round for that 5 minutes. I'll take a 5-minute rest, and then I'm going to do it again for round 2 and round 3. The 3 exercises I have inside my circuit are the assault bike, the ring row, and the push-up. And the reason I love these 3 together, the assault bike is fairly challenging on the low body. That ring row over there, I'm doing some upper pulling, and then the push-up, I'm doing upper pushing. So those 3 are a nice complement to one another. As you can see, the exercises I've chosen here are allowing me to move at a pretty fast rate. 5-minute intervals are fairly quick, they're over fast, and in that circuit, I want to make sure I'm getting through this work quite a few times. So pick your exercises that allow you to move through at a nice fast rate. In circuits, there's no long breaks between movements. You want to make sure that you go straight from that bike to the ring row to the push-up without having to stop and take a break. Nice steady pace is something that's important to remember there. So we've looked at one mixed modal circuit in isolation, but I want to give you some thoughts around what your training needs to look like over time and how you could progress from something like these 5-minute AMRAPs. And maybe if you don't have a lot of experience with mixed modal training, where you could begin to progress to something like this. So if you're totally new to mixed modal training and you don't have experience there, do keep in mind that it's okay to use the assault bike for cyclical work and just do intervals on the assault bike. Get really comfortable just breathing on this thing. Once you get really good at that and you do start introducing gymnastics and weightlifting, think about starting nice and long and slow with your aerobic work. So it doesn't have to be 5 minutes right away. You could be doing 45-minute or 30-minute pieces at a slower pace and introducing simple activities like a farmer's carry. You could be doing a plank hold or a wall sit, so isometric holds. As you start to get really good at that, you can begin to increase the complexity of the exercises. So we go to push-ups and ring rows. From there, we begin to introduce some weightlifting activities. Maybe you are introducing a loaded squat, a power clean, a deadlift, depending on your goals and what you're capable of. And over time, those intervals can get shorter and faster too. You don't have to stop at 5 minutes. They could be 3-minute pieces, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. You have a whole lot of opportunity to progress and have a lot of fun with the exercises you're choosing. Just make sure you choose ones that you're able to perform effectively and keep sustainable.